The Invaders made a generation check Stranger's Little Fingers. But the show you remember isn't the show its creator designed. Did you know the original version was an entirely different format television refused to make? Or that the series ended without ever ending? 15 facts, starting with the erased version. 15, the erased original version, a completely different show. The Invaders you know is the replacement for the show Larry Cohen actually invented. Cohen's original design was radical for 1967. The Invaders was intended to air as a twice-per-week serial, each installment ending on a cliffhanger. Appointment television with a continuing story, closer to a paranoid soap opera than a weekly procedural. ABC declined the format, and then, by Cohen's own account, borrowed the twice-weekly cliffhanger structure for a little show called Batman. Cohen also envisioned heavily serialized storytelling in the vein of the hit Peyton Place. Instead, Quinn Martin's machine rebuilt it as a self-contained weekly procedural and froze the creator out. As chronicled in production histories, Cohen, a QM outsider, soon found himself getting the big chill, trading hands-on control for a profit share and creator credit. The result was successful, stylish, and in Cohen's view, safer than intended. Television's Great Paranoia series was itself replaced by a duplicate. 14. It was built to replace The Fugitive. The Invaders exists because television's most famous running man was about to stop running. In 1967, Quinn Martin's The Fugitive, the phenomenon about Dr. Richard Kimball crossing America, disbelieved and hunted, was ending, and Martin needed a successor. Larry Cohen, who had written for The Fugitive, pitched him the perfect mutation. Keep the lonely wanderer. Keep the world that won't believe him, but replace the one-armed man with an entire alien species. Even Cohen openly acknowledged the DNA transfer. One person fighting society, the government, an invisible force. The scheduling tells the same story of expedience. The Invaders launched as a mid-season replacement, shoved into a Tuesday slot to rescue ABC from two failing comedies. From that emergency surgery came a cult classic. Essentially, The Fugitive with a dying planet instead of a dead wife. When the formula works, Hollywood doesn't retire it. It just gives it a saucer. 13. It's a Red Scare allegory. By a creator with a horse story, Larry Cohen never hid his sources. His favorite childhood films were Invaders from Mars and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and he's on record acknowledging the Invaders as a Red Scare allegory. The terror that your neighbor, your boss, your local police officer could secretly serve a hostile power. Every unbendable pinky is a loyalty test. Every disbelieving official is a nation that won't listen. And Cohen had form. His earlier Western Branded, starring staunchly conservative Chuck Connors as a man branded a coward, hunting proof of his innocence, was secretly, in Cohen's mind, about the Hollywood blacklist and the McCarthy trials. The legendary anecdote, when Connors finally discovered what his own show was actually about, he reportedly tried to run Cohen down with his horse on set. The Invaders was Cohen perfecting the trick Rod Serling taught television, as our Twilight Zone episode covered. Smuggled the truth in past the sponsors, wearing a costume. 12. The alien rules were budget problems disguised as nightmares. Everything iconic about the Invaders doubles as a cost-saving masterstroke. The aliens look exactly human because passing actors are free. But some carry a mutated little finger, stiffly extended, unbendable, an identifying flaw costing $0 that terrified a generation into examining handshakes. They have no pulse, no heartbeat, no emotions. Characterization achieved by subtracting performance. They must periodically regenerate in glowing chambers or deteriorate. And the masterpiece, when killed, they flare red and vanish entirely, leaving no corpse. That final rule is the engine of the entire series. No bodies means no evidence. No evidence means David Vincent can never prove anything, week after week, forever. And it means the props department never builds an alien autopsy. One glowing dissolve solves the show's premise, its budget, and its tragedy simultaneously. Modern showrunners hire writers' rooms to achieve that kind of elegance. The Invaders achieved it by being broke and brilliant at the same time. 11. A punk band is named after the alien's finger. The show's strangest legacy lives in your record collection. The legendary Irish punk band Stiff Little Fingers, pioneers of the Belfast scene, took their name from the condition attributed to the Invaders' aliens, that rigid, unbendable little finger. Somewhere between Ulster and outer space, a 1967 alien tale became one of punk rock's great band names. And the musical echoes don't stop there. Frank Black, the Pixies, frontman, wrote Bad Wicked World on his album Teenager of the Year explicitly about the Invaders, one of alt-rock's oddest love letters to Quinn Martin television. Comics caught the signal too. The series is considered a major inspiration for ROM. Space Knight, Marvel's saga of a lone warrior hunting shape-changing dire wraiths hidden among humanity. David Vincent's War, retold in silver armor. Cancelled in 1968, the show kept transmitting for decades, through bass lines, album deep cuts, and comic panels. Cult classics don't die. They syndicate into the culture. 10, the star genuinely believed, and policed the set Roy Thinnes didn't treat the premise as fantasy. In 1967 Publicity, he openly professed belief in unidentified flying objects, framing the Invaders less as make-believe than as a narrow extrapolation of real possibilities. And according to production oral histories, when crew members treated the flying saucers as a joke on set, Thinnes objected, insisting the premise be taken seriously to protect the show's tone. He and producer Alan Armour even attended UFO conventions during production, blurring research into personal conviction. Accounts from the era also report Thinnes describing his own unexplained sighting. It shows on screen. Whatever any given episode's script quality, Thinnes plays David Vincent with unbroken, haunted sincerity, never winking, never camping, a man carrying catastrophic knowledge through a country that pities him. 50 years of alien conspiracy protagonists, every haunted believer with a folder of evidence, descend from that performance. The show worked because its star was, in every sense, a believer. 9, Klaatu joined the invasion, and so did young Gene Hackman. For viewers of this channel, here's a delicious full-circle moment. Michael Rennie, Klaatu himself, the benevolent alien of the day the Earth stood still, guest-starred on The Invaders as one of them, memorably brainwashing David Vincent aboard a flying saucer in The Innocent. 16 years after asking humanity to choose peace, cinema's greatest alien ambassador returned as the invasion's smooth-talking face. Casting directors knew exactly what they were doing, and the guest roster reads like a prophecy. A young Gene Hackman appears as an alien years before the French Connection. Jack Lord passed through before Hawaii Five-0. Roddy McDowall and two-time guest Suzanne Plachette added star wattage. Quinn Martin's shows were famous as reliable paychecks for working actors, and The Invaders became an accidental yearbook. Half its extraterrestrial infiltrators went on to conquer Hollywood legitimately. Watch closely. The invasion was staffed by future legends. Quick regeneration break, no glowing chamber required. If this investigation is earning it, hit like and subscribe, because we reopen a classic case file every week. Now, the fact that still frustrates fans half a century later, this show never actually ended. 8, the invasion was never resolved. The show just stopped. Here's the wound fans still carry. The Invaders has no ending. After 43 episodes across 2 seasons, ABC canceled the series in March 1968, and the final episode is simply another episode. No climactic exposure of the aliens, no vindication for David Vincent, no resolution to the invasion. The second season had even built toward hope. Vincent finally gained allies, the Believers, led by industrialist Edgar Scoville, meaning he was no longer entirely alone. And then, transmission ends. Unintentionally, that non-ending became the series' most haunting statement. In the world of the show, the invasion is still happening. Vincent is still out there, still disbelieved forever. The Fugitive got its legendary finale. its alien twin got eternal limbo. Decades of serialized shows have since taught audiences to fear cancellation without closure. But The Invaders did it first and hardest. Television's great Paranoia series ended exactly the way paranoia does. Unresolved. 7. The pilot was secretly remade 10 years later. Here's a deep cut even devoted fans miss. The Invaders pilot episode, Beachhead, David Vincent's fateful wrong turn, the deserted diner, the landing saucer, was quietly remade a decade later. In 1977, Quinn Martin's anthology series Tales of the Unexpected produced The Nomads, a reworking of the very same story. Same production empire, same nightmare, new faces. The Invasion's opening move restaged for a new decade's audience, most of whom had no idea they were watching a cover version. The franchise quietly multiplied elsewhere too. The Invaders spawned tie-in novels and comic book adaptations during its run, extending Vincent's hopeless crusade into print for fans who couldn't wait a week. It's a pattern worth noticing across this whole countdown. The show that officially lasted only 43 episodes kept getting retold by its own producer, by publishers, by punk bands, as if the story itself refused to accept cancellation. Fitting for an enemy that leaves no evidence. 6. The 1995 Resurrection, written by Larry Cohen himself. 27 years after cancellation, The Invasion returned. And this time, Larry Cohen wrote it. Fox's 1995 miniseries. The Invaders starred Quantum Leap's Scott Bakula as Nolan Wood, an ex-con implanted by the aliens whose implant doesn't quite take, leaving him with visions of their plans. The aliens' new scheme is chillingly 90s, accelerate Earth's ecological destruction because they thrive in pollution. Humanity can't survive. And in the passing of the torch scene fans waited decades for, Roy Thinnis returned as an aged David Vincent, meeting Wood in prison, handing the hopeless crusade to a new believer. The miniseries doubled as a failed pilot. Plans existed for Thinnis to recur in a new series that never materialized. Strangest of all, the original broadcast never actually showed the aliens. Their appearances were only restored in later airings and on DVD. The revival about invisible invaders kept its invaders invisible. Somewhere, Cohen was smiling. 5. The X-Files repaid its debt. After a cold call. By the mid-1990s, a new conspiracy empire ruled television, and its lineage was obvious. The X-Files, one believer, an infiltrating alien colonization, a world that won't listen. Then came one of TV history's best full-circle stories. Roy Thinnis read an interview in which X-Files creator Chris Carter asked about the Invaders' influence, sidestepped the debt, but volunteered that he'd love to cast Thinnis on the series. So Thinnis got Carter's number through a friend at Fox, called the showrunner directly, and, as he later joked, assured him he was still in possession of his faculties and ready for any part. Carter delivered handsomely. Thinnis became Jeremiah Smith, the mysterious, shape-shifting alien healer, staged with deliberately Christ-like calm. An explicit genealogical nod from one paranoia era to the next. David Vincent spent 43 episodes begging the world to believe. 30 years later, television's biggest show answered, "We believed you." 4. The Quinn Martin formula narrated dread in color. Part of the Invaders' hypnotic texture is pure Quinn Martin ritual. Every episode arrives stamped with the announcers booming, "A Quinn Martin production," and the era's proud declaration, "In color." No small boast when color TV was the 4K of its day. Then the second voice takes over, narrator Bill Woodson's funereal bookends. The Invaders, alien beings from a dying planet. A device critics recognized as consciously Serling-esque, borrowing the Twilight Zone's authority to bless a new nightmare. Beneath the voices ran Dominic Frontier's superb, anxious score. The composer fresh from the Outer Limits, importing that show's cosmic unease, while cinematographer Andrew McIntyre blended the era's vivid color palette with shadowy, washed-out lighting suited to paranoia. The whole QM apparatus, the 4-act structure, The epilogue, the machine-tooled professionalism, gave a mad premise the visual grammar of a sober crime drama. That's the trick. The invasion felt real because it was formatted like the news. 3. The creator left TV and became a cult movie god. The Invaders was Larry Cohen's springboard out of television and into legend. Frozen out of his own series, Cohen took his profit share and his twisted imagination and became one of the great renegade filmmakers of the 1970s and 80s. Writer-director of It's Alive, The Killer Baby Shocker, God Told Me To, his delirious alien messiah thriller, The Stuff, the consumer satire about killer dessert, and decades later, the writer of Phone Booth. Critics eventually recognized what QM's machine hadn't wanted. Cohen was an ideas factory, cranking out premises other filmmakers would ration across careers, which reframes The Invaders entirely. It's the studio-polished version of a Larry Cohen fever dream. His adolescent obsessions with body snatchers and invaders from Mars, professionally upholstered. 2. You never once see the alien's true form. Here's the show's most audacious secret, hiding across all 43 episodes. The Invaders' real appearance is never revealed. Not once. The emotionless beings from a dying planet appear only in their assumed human disguises. We see the regeneration chambers, the telltale fingers, the red dissolve of their deaths, but the creature underneath remains permanently off-camera. What began, no doubt, as another budget necessity became the series' most modern storytelling choice. The monster your imagination builds is always worse than latex. The restraint extended to their hardware. Sleek, minimalist silver technology that, unlike most 60s sci-fi gadgetry, has aged with surprising dignity precisely because it showed so little. 1. The missing link in alien invasion history. Step Back and The Invaders reveals its true place. It's the missing link in the evolution of screen paranoia. Behind it, the 1950s, body snatchers, invaders from Mars, the Red Scare in rubber masks. Ahead of it, the X-Files, and every conspiracy saga since. The Invaders is the bridge, the first television series to make alien infiltration a weekly, ongoing, unwinnable war, fought by one exhausted believer against institutional disbelief. Its fingerprints are on every "the truth is out there" story ever filmed, and its influence was personally certified when Chris Carter cast David Vincent himself into the successor mythology. And the show's accidental masterstroke endures. No ending. Kimball caught the one-armed man. Mulder got his answers, mostly. Those were 15 facts most fans have never heard about the Invaders. Which one got you? The twice-a-week serial that became Batman's format? Or Klaatu switching sides? Report your sighting in the comments. We promise to believe you. If this earned it, hit like, subscribe, and send it to a friend after checking their little finger. Until next time, keep watching the skies and the handshakes.